This is how you're going to set up your life wheel and why you need to start using it. Okay, first things first, a life wheel is all about tracking your progress. So if you're like trying to lose weight or start a business, there's ways for you to track your progress, like how many customers or sales you've made or how much weight you've lost. I know people that are even looking for their soulmate will tell me how many dates they've been on. So there's a way for them to kind of track this. But with our self-growth, sometimes it's hard to track that progress. So this is going to be the way that you're tracking that. Okay, so this is what your life wheel is going to look like. Now I've created a scale from 1 to 10, but feel free to arrange these however you want or swap them out for something that feels better for you. Now you're just going to go through and fill in each section from 1 to 10. Now really honestly, the scale is just here for extra help. Try and go through and just fill them in based off of what feels like a 1 to 10 in each of these categories. All right, I'm going to fill this out with you. I'm going to start with health and I'm going to use my fancy little blue pen here. Okay, so you're literally just going to come in here. I always like to count up. Okay, so I feel like my health has been pretty good lately, so I'm going to actually just put it at an 8. So I like to just go up, find where my number is, and then just fill it in from there. It doesn't have to be all super filled in. It's just however much you feel like. Okay, I'm going to keep it kind of quick and not fill it in too much. All right, next we're going to do money. Okay, same thing, you're just going to come in here, and I always like to say it doesn't necessarily just have to be the money in your bank account. Think about it more like your money mindset, your overall feeling toward money, your relationship with money. Like I said, just kind of overall money mindset. I feel like this has actually been doing really good. I'm going to put this at an 8 too. And you'll kind of find when you do this that there will seem like there's an overall number that you're going to start to hit. I'm just going to keep doing this and you'll kind of, I think, start to see they'll all kind of line up. All right, next we're doing friends and family. Okay, now with friends and family, if you want, you can draw a line down the middle of it and do 1 for friends and 1 for family. Like for me right now, oh my gosh, I've been really slacking on my friends. I'm going to give it a 5. And honestly, I'm being pretty gracious with myself. Actually, no, I've been doing a lot better. And then with my family, I'm going to put an 8 because I've been really on top of like just my relationships with them and making sure I'm reaching out and all of that, right? Again, I picked 8, so you're kind of going to see, like, I'm like just kind of picking a theme. That's totally normal. Don't feel like you have to try and make it all crazy or anything. It's fine that things are consistent. Okay, now we've got career for this. This would be my business. Also, if you're in school, you can put that too. Sorry, I have to always go bussiness because that's how I know how to spell it. I feel like I'm really starting to get a kind of a handle on things. Things have been really crazy. I'm going to put this at a 6 actually because I think I'm probably judging myself too hard on it. And again, this is like so good to be honest with yourself about these things. So actually I'm going to increase it because I think I'm being a little hard on myself. And I'm going to give myself a 7. Because there's definitely areas that I want to improve, but I've really gained some great traction. Okay, next we're going to move on to romance. Oh, I should have done romance in pink. That's okay. I literally have like 5 pinks, so it's fine. Okay, romance. Again, if you're not in a romantic relationship or you're not looking for anybody, that's fine. This is going to be your relationship with yourself. Also, too, if you want to draw a line down the middle and do your self relationship and then your romantic relationship, you can do that. For me, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put both of these at a 9. My relationship with my boo is honestly pretty much always great. That's one of the things that I love so much about him. I know people will be like, that sounds like a boring relationship. You guys never fight. Like, no, we don't. Yeah, we have disagreements, but we just talk them out. It's so mellow and I love it. And then I'm actually going to put my relationship with myself at a 7 because I've kind of been slacking on my self-care a little bit. I've definitely have not been making myself the priority that I should be. Okay, and again, that's like, you'll hear too when I talk about self-growth, it's a little bit different and that's why I divided those up. All right, now we're gonna move on to self-growth. Okay, for self-growth, I have actually been really on it. I'm gonna put this again at an 8 because that just feels right. I'm not actually even looking at my scale. Things are going pretty good is what the scale says, which I would actually say is pretty spot on. Yeah, I'm like, things are going really good. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, there's like some areas that I want to improve. But no, I've been really going, again, it's like be gracious with yourself. You go with the ebbs and the flows. So this is like, again, it's great to do this because you'll see where your highs and your lows are. All right, moving on. Okay, now we have fun, and I have this beautiful fun color to fill it in. My fun, to be totally honest, has been absolutely horrible. I'm going to give it a 3. And this is, when I do this activity with people, it's actually really common that you will have these really low fun, especially for whatever reason when everything else is really high. So it's always, I tell people, I'm like, if fun is low, make sure it is a priority. We've got the rest activity in the Patreon group, so you can go back and do that and figure out what your clean rest and your clean play is and start scheduling that in. Like I've said before, schedule your rest and your fun in before you schedule everything else. This is one of the ways that you make yourself a priority. It's also one of the ways that you build self-trust for yourself to get things done, take a break, and then come back to getting things done. I'm not going to get into all of that since we're just doing the life wheel, and I'm going to move on to physical environment. Okay, physical environment, everybody always has questions on. This is just the physical space. So think like your home, your work, your bedroom, whatever space it is that you occupy, your car. I mean, where are you spending your time, the physical areas that you're spending your time in? I am going to put this, I'm actually going to put this again at an 8. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I feel like I've been pretty on top of things. Like, my space has been pretty clean. I've been pretty on top of doing the things that I need to do, like cleaning my cat box and stuff like that, just like the daily tasks. And I really started to make some home improvements and turn this into the space that I love. So I was thinking 7, but again, like, be gracious with yourself. Give yourself love. All right, now we're going to move on to this bottom portion. Okay, so you'll just look at your score, and you can kind of just literally go around the wheel and see, like, so my highest score is in romance, which is, like, good for me and my hubby. I'll have to tell him that. So I'm proud as my highest score is in romance. And I'm just going to put with Boo, since I separated those out. And then I just like to write a little titty about it, like a little tidbit about it. I love so much. I love him. All right, next we're going to move on to Now I'm Going To. Okay, so now for the Now I'm Going To section, I want you to look at what area is going to be the lowest. Again, you're just going to go through the wheel. For me, it's fun, and I like to keep my colors consistent because that's how I do. And then at the bottom, to improve fun, I've tried to figure out a way to switch this up, but I just haven't figured it out yet. So this week, I'm going to schedule in play and rest. That's just not enough for me because I am a crazy person. So I'm going to also come up with a list of ways to play and ways to rest, which we've got that, again, clean rest activity. So that'll be good ways for you to figure out what ways you can play and rest. So I highly recommend that, especially if fun is your lowest. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your life wheel. Nice and simple. If you have questions, don't forget to drop them in the comments, and I can make sure that I respond and go over anything in more detail as you need. I hope this helps. I always like to try and do these weekly. If that doesn't work with your schedule, no worries. Bi-weekly, monthly, whatever's going to work best for you. It's like I said, it's just a great way to check in, track your progress, see what areas have improved, and you can really, like I said, you can see your progress. You can also see how life just ebbs and flows, and when you are in those down times, it's just easier to feel like you can get out of them because you look through and you're like, oh yeah, I've been low in this area before. It'll increase. It's just bound to happen. That's how life goes. All right, I hope this helps. I will talk with you guys soon, and I love you all so much. Bye.